So I did a degree called Arts Global, which codifies, amongst a few other smaller things, that effectively every student must do a semester abroad. I took that to the extreme and did the maximum of 3 semesters abroad. So I did a year in the United States and then some time doing intensive study across Europe and then an inter-campus exchange to Malaysia. So the first year I went to the University of California, Davis campus, which is about an hour out of San Francisco. And what was great about that was that I also, I think, tried to create a very much a sort of lifestyle there. So I worked actually for the Speaker, Nancy Pelosi, during the inauguration of President Obama, and then for the Governor there, Arnold Schwarzenegger, which was obviously a terrific experience and an enlightening experience. So the first year of my degree, I focused on trying to create an organisation called Left Right Think Tank, which effectively is a platform for young people 15 to 25 to contribute their ideas across the whole spectrum of policy. These days, just as a board member, it's great to be able to look back and see that there are 60 staff across 4 states. They run a whole range of government-associated programs. I think probably the greatest skill set that Monash has helped cultivate is probably critical thinking skills. So at the moment I work as a freelance journalist, and I find that the skill sets that sort of empowers you with, particularly in tutorial settings, really helps when you do things such as interviews yourself, or when you, I guess, think critically about a topic that you're writing on. So I find that particularly useful. After the United States, I had the great opportunity to sort of plug a gap before I started back on the Australian calendar to do intensive study in Gallipoli and then in Prato in Italy at our centre there, which was in Australian studies, but was managed to get credit for that towards my politics major, which was great. The access of the teaching staff and the style of the teaching staff made the course fun rather than academic. And then obviously I think just the actual travel component, the ability to go somewhere is important, I guess, to Australia's identity as Gallipoli, but to critically analyse that and to literally walk the battlefields and spend such a considerable amount of time there that you feel like you know the geography was an incredible experience.
So I'm undertaking an honours year in history this year. I'm doing, my thesis is surrounding the conflict in Northern Ireland. I've got an Irish background to my family. My granddad came from Ireland, and I've visited recently, so it sort of sparked an interest in mainly the memory and commemoration of the conflict in Northern Ireland, so I'll be studying that a bit more in depth. The great thing about international studies at Monash is it's interdisciplinary, so you've got lots of different units that are run by different schools. So you've got anthropology, sociology, history and politics, which is really good. You get to see everything from a different perspective. I sort of wish I'd done study abroad earlier in my degree and maybe done 2 sessions of it, because it was just such a great experience. You learn so much more and differently than you do in the classroom, and it was really useful for that, especially in Gallipoli, because you really do get taught a specific, in high school especially, you get taught a specific version of the Gallipoli story, and you go there and it just blows everything that you've ever learnt away. So I went to Prato after Gallipoli to finish off the study that I started in Gallipoli and to do another unit as well on the European Union. Again, a great experience. Prato is beautiful, really good teaching environment, intensive but in a good way. So you're really engaged in the learning rather than sitting passively in a lecture.
The thing to keep in mind is, having done 3 exchanges, the financial opportunities out there as well in terms of supporting to do that stuff is also very, very high, and makes it things through both Monash grants and through government grants that is affordable to any student, regardless of their socioeconomic background. So I think those sort of things are not necessarily, I guess, only open to a few, they're open to everyone in one way or another.
Yeah, they're very, very helpful in giving you support to go overseas, and they encourage you to do so. They want you to do as much overseas as you can so that you can get new perspectives and experience different cultures. So yeah, I got some great support from Monash to do that.